I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt. Come join us at our newest clinic location at Good Faith Wellness Center. We provide compassionate health care for your entire family, from virtual visits to office appointments. We're committed to providing the best care. We accept all insurances, and we provide monthly wellness plans. Let's start your family journey to a healthier, happier life. Schedule your appointment today, and remember, true wealth begins with good health. Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt. Come join us at our newest clinic location at Good Faith Wellness Center. We provide compassionate health care for your entire family, from virtual visits to office appointments. We're committed to providing the best care. We accept all insurances, and we provide monthly wellness plans. Let's start your family journey to a healthier, happier life. Schedule your appointment today, and remember, true wealth begins with good health. All right. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Telehealth Tuesday. This is your go-to podcast for insights on modern healthcare wellness solutions. I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt, and tonight we have an amazing episode lined up just for you. Before we get started, I'd love to tell you all about Telehealth Tuesday and where you can find us. So with that said, let's get this pulled up. We want to let you know that Telehealth Tuesday can be viewed on multiple platforms, but most notably, we want to tell you guys about Telehealth Tuesday on Dr. B TV. That's right, Dr. B TV. Doctor spelled out DOCTOR, the letter B as in boy, TV on YouTube. So make sure to share, tag, like, follow, and most importantly, subscribe to help support this amazing program. Also, you can find us on Good Faith Wellness Center on our Facebook pages and Instagram alike. Now, speaking of Good Faith Wellness Center, we want to let you know that Good Faith Wellness Center is taking on new patients. That's right. So good news is that if you have insurance, look, we take every single one. If you're coming to see yours truly, Dr. Bookhardt, Dr. B, we take every single insurance payer out there, even if it's not in our best interest, but we want it to be in your best interest. And so we'll worry about getting payments and things like that on the back end. We want to make sure that you are taken care of. And guess what? If you don't have insurance, it's still all good, because then you get to use one of our wonderful handy dandy payment options, one of our monthly special plans that is $99 a month for individuals. So just like a cell phone plan, it's a recurring plan, $99 a month, cheaper than your cell phone plan. And to make sure that you can come and see us indefinitely, you can come see us if you wanted to every single day of the week. We don't advise that, but if you want to see our smiling faces, you can come see us, sit with our office manager, Conchetta. She loves to talk. Don't tell her I said that. And you can come every single day of the week just for a checkup, check your blood pressure, make sure you're okay, check your blood sugar, all that stuff. $99 a month. That's unlimited visits for one person, $179 for two, and $229 for four, or a family of four, or four friends, if you want to do that. Hello out there in Instagram land. I see my high school classmate from the Dr. Phillips High School in Orlando, Florida, the city beautiful, Mr. Mara Logan, and my brother, Remy J. Knott. If you're still there, let us know. Put something in the comments in the chat. Let us know if you're still there. 42 Sonia's there. My lovely mother's here. Dr. Lily James, thank you so much for always participating and being my biggest supporter. We want to say a big shout out to Kate King, Jeremy Jones. If you're listening, I don't know if you're on there. I know we tagged you to it. We spoke very briefly earlier. Hope all is going well. Big shout out to you guys. Shout out to Naz and all of our wonderful supporters. But thank you so much for being here with us. All right. What's going on? 42 in Instagram land. Good to see you. All right. I think that's about it with all of our usual weekly assignments. And of course, tonight, who is the guest? Well, you are. So we want to hear from you. This episode is all about you. I know we've had a few where we've had some great participation from the audience. So we are hoping and claiming that that's going to be the case also tonight. We're having a little delays with our software catching up right there, but we will be uh, with you in just a second with that. But one of the things we wanted to let you guys know, I'm going to pull it up on another screen. We were talking about, tonight's topic, we're talking about weight loss, the weight loss revolution. But are we truly getting healthier? That's the question. The weight loss revolution, but are we getting healthier? I see a few other people are. You guys come on in. We're waiting for you. Come on into the room, into the chat. Let's see. You guys come on in. Tonight, GLP's the weight loss revolution. But are we getting healthier? That is the question. And one of the things we wanted to, somewhat of an icebreaker to the audience, if you guys don't mind sharing, what's something that you do every day that you know probably isn't good for you, but you're just not ready to give it up. That's something that we've asked on some other episodes, and it's always, we always get, well, you know what? Actually, I want to change from that. Let's change from that. We want to talk specifically, not just about one thing that you're doing that you know is not good for you, right? Let's change this because we're talking about weight loss and GLPs. If you could instantly change one thing about your health tonight, if you could change one thing, and that could be your weight, energy, your diet, strength, sleep, or stress, what would you choose and why? We want to give that. We're going to let that sit with you for a little bit while we try to bring this up on the big screen here. Let's see. Okay, we're going to give that. We want that to marinate just for a little bit. Let it marinate. Instagram, Remy, are you still on there? 42 Sony, let us know what's going on. Drop something in the chat. Tamara, you guys, let me know if you guys can hear me on the Instagram side. Okay, I think those are coming up. Okay, there we go. It's pulling up now. And again, I want to repeat that for everyone, just in case you're just now joining us. This is Telehealth Tuesday. And we are talking about GLP-1s, the weight loss revolution. But are we getting healthier? That is the question. So, and let's put that in. This is our icebreaker for the audience. And because, like we said tonight, you guys have the distinguished honor of being our guests. Okay, you can hear me. Perfect on in Instagram land. And let's put one over here. There we go. All right, let's put that up so all can see. Got a couple of questions that are coming in right now as we speak. Let's see. Okay, here we go. All right. So, icebreaker, you guys let us know what you're thinking there. Again, if you could instantly change one thing about your health tonight, and that could be your weight, your energy, your diet, your strength, sleep, or stress, what would you choose and why? You guys want to know getting rid of this menopause weight. All right. Well, thank you so much. So tell us, 42, what are you doing? Are you doing anything to work on that right now? And if so, if you don't mind sharing your regimen and let us know if it's working for you. If it's working, we definitely want to know because that's going to truly help someone in our audience. So we're going to leave that up there. We want to still hear from you. I'll say this, that most people, since we're concentrating on the weight loss portion of things tonight, most people do tend to focus on that. They would like to change their weight, because a lot of times the heavier that we are, unfortunately, that takes a toll on the body. And so that worsens your chronic pain, acute and chronic pain, just even your overall feelings sometimes about yourself. Um, and also fatigue level, because it takes, if you think about it, makes sense. It takes a whole lot more to move a heavier weight and move a lot of weight than it does a lighter weight. So, and that's a lot more wear and tear on the joints, on your back, your legs, and all that good stuff. And so most people, that's what we find in the private practice and also in the hospital world. They concentrate big time on weight, which is why these companies out there, all the new drugs that are coming out, whether it's being Ozempic, which has been out for some time now, Wegovy, um, all these different, all the major players out there in the GLP world. That's why they're making so many billions of dollars, probably trillions at this point, because everybody is interested in that, and everybody wants to do it quickly, you know. And people always tell you, you know, if anything comes to you fast, that's the same way that most people are going to lose it, unfortunately. So this is not a dig against, for or against GLPs. It's just letting, you know, just wanted to let you guys know that unfortunately there's no immediate result, no immediate road to happiness. Now, if you go and get plastic surgery and all that, of course, hey, somebody wants a breast augmentation, whether it's going larger, smaller, just a lift, BBL, tummy tuck, nose job, those will give you instant results. But what are you going to do to maintain is the question. So we had getting one of the answers from our audience was getting rid of the menopause weight. Tamara says, I'll go with energy. I'm a busybody, but have been sleeping a lot lately. So tell us more about that. I'm so glad that you shared that with us, to my dear classmate. But please, if you don't mind expounding on that, let us know what a little bit more about what you mean when you say, I've been sleeping a lot. Does that mean 5 or 6 hours? Does that mean 8 hours? Does that mean 10 plus hours? So let us know in the chat on the Instagram side when you get a chance. Thank you so much. Someone says, yes, I work out 4 to 5 days a week. I'm maintaining, but I crave sweets more since I'm over 50. Okay, how many years over 50? No, I'm just joking. You don't have to share. I'm totally kidding. I'm also holding weight in my midsection now, she said with an exclamation point. And yeah, and thank you so much for again being transparent enough, because this is the only way that we're all going to learn together. You know, the class needs to hear not just from us or me, you know, being a talking head on the TV screen or on the computer screen, but hearing from real live people. That lets us know that this is real. This isn't just something in a textbook. We're not just doing this. Well, we are doing this for our health, but this is not just something that we're making up or conjuring up. You know, this is real life and it's affecting real people. So we let's go back to that. We're getting some great participation. Tired after I wake up. I wake up wanting to take another nap before I go to bed. Okay, that is something. Let's see if we can get that in the chat there. I'm gonna try to copy that so we can make sure that everyone sees that, because I think this is very beneficial um, for everyone to see, and hopefully that'll inspire someone else to share their testimony with us. You guys come on in. I see the numbers going up on the chat. Come on in. Come on in. For the new viewers and things, you guys drop us a line in the chat. Welcome to Telehealth Tuesday. This is your go-to podcast for modern insights on today's healthcare and wellness solutions. Um, so you guys come on in. We are talking about not just GLPs and all things weight loss, but we're talking about everything around it. You know, not just about the brand or not just, but we want to know, how do we not only lose it in a healthy manner, but how do we maintain? So to me, sit tired after I wake up, wanting to take another nap before bed. So let's as they say, unpack it. Let's unpack that. So what that means is we have to look at sleep in many ways. Okay, uh, what's your stress level like? Is the TV on? Do you have a TV in your bedroom? Is it actually on? How many hours on the cell phone? Do you have a rule where you say, as this would be a nice inside thing, glasses off, lights off, cell phone down? So those are certain things that can really help you. So a lot of Americans, a huge significant percentage, are going to bed with sometimes even multiple TVs on in the room, apparently. sometimes one or even more than one cell phone. And doing that, we know that the cell phone is the most addictive thing, and it takes people away from their jobs, uh, from dinners with their family, from being able to concentrate at work, different things like that. So highly addictive is the cell phone. And so that's one of the things. If you say you can't sleep, we need to look at how many hours you're getting, what time of the evening you're going to sleep, when you normally need to wake up to go to work, what type of food are you eating, and what's the latest that you normally eat? Are you elevating the head of the bed to 30 degrees in case there's some acid reflux going on? That would help, and rather than laying, as we say, supine in the medical field, or flat. So those are a lot of questions there, and if you can help us answer those, that would help us give us some more answer. DJ Sir Duke, big ups to you. Thank you for joining. High stress. She says, I have no rules, not a big TV person. If it's on, I turn the sound completely off before bed. So that's excellent. So I want to commend you for that. But let's go ahead and take that a step farther. If the sleeping is the issue, then let's go ahead and turn the TV off at a certain time. I'll just throw out 9 o'clock. Just throw it out. I know there's some shows that may come on at 9 that some people want to watch. I don't. What time does Grey's Anatomy come? I used to be my favorite show. I don't even. It's been so many seasons. I'm scared to get caught up. But I think it comes. It used to come on, I believe, at 7 or something like that, 7 or 8. But yeah, let's try to not only have the TV off, but see, even that glare from the TV. Um, unless you have a blindfold or a sleep mask, that glare is still. Um, you might not notice it, but it is still affecting you. Okay, so that's one thing. And to try to go to bed at the same time, that's easier said than done, as a lot of us struggle with that. But that would be something that I think would really, truly help you guys. Come on in. Come on in. Let's see. Yeah, you guys come on in. Let's see. I'd have to wake up. Yeah. And the other thing about, your other point about wanting to take another nap, that's because obviously the first one, or the second or third one was not enough. And it could be because of these things we're talking about, whether it's the TV, the cell phone, the time you're eating. You might even have certain allergies that you're not aware of to certain foods, and certain foods, especially spicy foods, or a bulky or heavier meal, that causes a lot of issues with people trying to sleep. So let's see. Let's go to another topic here. So, or actually, let's go to one of our questions that's come in. So, uh, so ladies and gentlemen out there, the question is losing weight enough, or does being healthy actually require more than that? I want to make sure you guys are following me. That's a great question. That is a great question. Let's put that on the screen for all to see. Okay, let's see. Okay, get that on the screen. Oh, post. Okay. I did just do a major move. I did just do a major move too. Okay, yep. So there we go. You see, so that's why I said we need to really unpack it. When people have sleep issues, having issues losing weight, different things like that. Sometimes it's a little bit more involved than we think. Man, my cousin Chucky, what's going on? Charles Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. My cousin is here joining us. I don't know if this is your first time, but man, it's good to see you, cousin, on here, man. I appreciate the support. For me, say it's the sleep apnea and not using my look. I'm so glad you said that. We need to make sure if you guys put the link in the family chat too. Let's make sure I know my mom's going to help us with that. Uh, let's make sure we put the link in the family chat. Let's see. I'm so glad. We're gonna let's talk about that, Chucky, in just a second here. I want to make sure that everyone has that link. Let's see. Uh, okay. There we go. Okay. 1 second. I'm coming right back to that, everyone. Okay, Mom, you can put that. Okay. In the family. All right. You can help us add that on. All right. We got a few different ones, so make sure. All right. So Chuck, I'm glad you said that, man. So basically with sleep apnea, um, untreated, especially undiagnosed sleep apnea is very dangerous. And so it leads to lung and heart issues. Those pressures are building up in the cardiorespiratory system. And so that's why the mortality rate is much higher in people with either undiagnosed or untreated sleep apnea, especially those once it's diagnosed who are non-compliant, because they, for whatever reason, they don't wear their CPAP mask and things like that. Um, they And so that's something when people don't understand that sleep apnea, actually your throat is actually closing during the night. Some people are literally they'll stop breathing, and that's why you wake up with the choking, doing that kind of thing, because your windpipe and all your throat is closing up. And so a lot of times that is worse with in the obese population. So that's why this is tied to what we're talking about tonight, when we're saying America, let's get healthy. Let's talk about GLPs. Let's talk about weight loss. But it's tied into sleep apnea, and that is tied into mortality, which is the risk of death. So that's very important that people make sure to be compliant with that. The doctor says if I never get the doctor says I never get deep sleep. That's why I'm always tired and don't have the energy that I should. Yeah, and that again, that's a great point, and he or she's actually absolutely right about that. So many Americans and so many people worldwide, again, either have undiagnosed or untreated sleep apnea. Because see, you might have a diagnosis, but if you don't go and start on the treatment, which for most people, majority of individuals is starting on the CPAP machine, which is for those of you that don't know, it's that mask that a lot of people don't think is cool, or big mask that some people they say that it feels like they're suffocating. But the thing is, there's a pulmonologist here in Jackson, who I won't call his name, but he's very well respected, very well liked. And so one thing he told me when I was in my residency and I was still learning and I was under him, he said, Dr. Bookhardt, what I tell my patients is, look, if you have sleep apnea and you either don't, you never get the machine, or you have one and you refuse to wear it, or you never get, refitted, all that kind of stuff, like you're not taking it seriously. If you don't want to wear your CPAP, he says, I tell them to go ahead and pick out your plot in the local cemetery, because that's where you're going to be in the next 5 years. And I said, man, you tell the patient that? So, Dr. D. Lee, what's going on, Frat? Oh, 06. Good to see you again, as always, man. Thank you for your support. So yeah, that's very. I'm so glad you brought up the obstructive sleep apnea, and not everyone with sleep apnea is overweight or obese. So that's very important, because there's different types of sleep apnea. Um, I know a lot of skinny and unhealthy people. Vitamin levels are usually all over the place, and they have issues that I don't. That's a great point as well. Now, of course, um, we certainly, I mean, I certainly agree with you, but obviously we want to now, not saying skinny, but we do want to maintain a healthy BMI, healthy weight. So I know you're just probably showing that there are still people on the other side of this that can be unhealthy, and that's true. The majority of people, however, of course, and the issues that we have in the South are people that are on the heavier side, either overweight or obese, because it's tied into heart disease, diabetes, sleep apnea, like Chuck is saying. But yeah, certainly, hey, I just had a person we discharged today, 21-year-old African-American male with a blood sugar on admission of 1,260 or 1,160. One of them. It's so high I can't even remember, but it was greater than 1,000. I'm talking about blood sugar. 21 years old and thin, right? Just like that. So you're absolutely right. And his A1C, for those of you that know what that is, if you're a diabetic or know a diabetic, his A1C was so high that the machine could not even read it. It was greater than the greater than symbol, 13.5, meaning it was so darn high that the computer, you couldn't even compute what his A1C actually is. So I just discharged him from the hospital today, this afternoon, not even 8 hours ago. So you can certainly be thin or on the slimmer side and be just as unhealthy or even more unhealthy. Matter of fact, he's a terrible diabetic. And I told him that if he's not already urinating all day and having blurry vision, if he's not already having he came in there with acute kidney failure. So that resolved with us hydrating him. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be something I told him that could be long lasting. And I'm not claiming that for him. But I said, this could lead to you losing your fingers, toes, eyesight. You got to ask, do they have somebody to drive them to dialysis? Do you have somebody that's going to come sit with you or take you back and forth 3 days a week, 4 hours a day? Because that's what's going to happen. So we'll see if that got to him. I'm not sure. It might have been in one ear and out the other. Says, Chucky, I hate that thing on my face. I can't sleep with it. Very uncomfortable. Is there anything else I can do? All right. And another great question. So the answer is yes. There's other types of CPAP machines now, because the one that you're describing is the most common one, and that's the one that people feel just as you do. But they have newer ones that only go over the nose, or that are slimmer in size, that conform more to the face, that have a different type of mechanism to adhere to your face. So, and then they even have mouth guards, different things to help keep your airway open where it's not a mask at all. And so sometimes the dentist or head and neck surgeon or ENT, they deal with those things. So you might want to check in with your doctor. But to answer your question, yes, there's definitely something else. There's the mouth guard, there's the smaller mouthpieces, and then there's the ones that literally just go over the nose. In the hospital, we normally use the traditional big mask that it's got the straps on the side. But there's definitely, in the outpatient world, in the outpatient setting, definitely some other things. Shout out Arnita Gordon. Thank you so much for joining. Good to see you. Okay, I think we got caught up there. On the Instagram side, you guys still with us? Rocky the Broker, what's going on? Good to see you. You're supposed to be a guest on here. All right, let me know when you're going to join us. Now, you let me know, Rocky. Let me know. Tamara, oh my, OMG, that's possible. Which one are you talking about? The mask, Tamara? Which one are you, when you say OMG, is that possible? Let us know which one you're talking about. Let's go to one of our other, and while you get that information and respond, we'll go to our next question that's come in. Would you rather be interesting? Would you rather be smaller or stronger? I think Tamara made a great point about size, right? Let's see. You made a great point there, because just because, I'll give you a hint, just because we're smaller doesn't mean you're healthier. So I think you helped us answer that one. Let's see. Oh, the guy with the blood sugar. Yeah. So 21 years old. I mean, I cannot make this up. I can't make this up. This guy, literally, and the nurses seem to know him, say, oh yeah, we know this guy's, in here a lot. But yeah, came in, he was just real kind of whatever, cavalier about it. And he says, well, I have stuff to do, doc, man. I got to do this and that. I got a lady friend, I got a job, I got this and that. And so I said, well, when you have so many things to do, and he's like, yeah, and I got this new factory job, I got to wear these steel toe boots. And I said, well, listen, you won't be wearing steel toe boots for long, because, I mean, you might be missing a toe or a foot. So then you'd have to get special orthotic shoes. You won't be wearing those steel toe boots for long. And so he just looked at me, and I said, well, if you want full function of your penis, hey. And so he really, most men look crazy when you say that. I tell them, if you want that third leg to keep working, which that's unfortunately most men's focus. And I always tell people, there's two reasons why most men come to the doctor, because men can be so darn stubborn. First reason is because the female in their life forces them to. That could be their mother, sister, daughter, niece, cousin, whoever. The other reason is because there's a problem with their penis. Hey, I don't make the rules. These are just facts. So when I said that to this young man, of course, he sat up in the bed, and that really got his attention. Said, "Yeah, man, that can and will happen." I said, "Your blood sugar was over 1,000. That is not compatible with a long life." So I think he gets it, and I'm sure you guys get it because I know I got a lot of reactions from that. So let's see. Let's move on to. Um, Do you think that people are using GLP-1s too casually? Okay. That is a very interesting question. Let's put that in the chat so you guys can see that and be reminded. We'll get that in there. Let's see. Yeah, I'll get to your question next on that Instagram. I see you. I see you. But this question, let's put that up there. Do you think that people are using GLP-1s too casually? And I want to put that a little bit on you guys. What do you all think is too casually? What do you guys think is too casually? You guys, let's see. You guys, let us give you give me about 30 to 45 seconds to, let's see. All right, we got some answers coming in. Okay. I want to bring a very special guest on to talk about his weight loss journey. He just doesn't know it yet, but I sent him a message there. You think people are using GLP-1s too casually? My immediate answer to that is absolutely yes. Um, so yes, I know people using GLPs so they can continue to eat poorly. Boom. That is it. That is the answer. So a lot of people get a false sense of they get a false sense of health. They're not when they see themselves losing all this weight, start I'm sure they start breathing better, the sleep apnea, all that stuff gets better because when you lose weight, especially if you're coming from being obese, then that makes a big difference in how you breathe, how you walk, how you talk, even some people, and then also how you feel about yourself, even your confidence level. And so I think because people are seeing these amazing, frankly, amazing results, they're saying, hey, let me go and just get this online. Let me get from the black market and doing all this stuff. And you just have to be careful. We have to be very careful with that. So I would love to hear from someone who's on them. If you are on GLPs and would like to share with the class, please let us know. If you are on GLP-1, please let us know because we want to hear from you because there's nothing like a personal testimony. But I've only witnessed blood sugar being 200 to 600, but over 1,000. They said, what is his diet? Candy and other carbs, candies, potato chips, which is a carb, anything white. So in this case, white is certainly not right. And so, so for example, white rice, white potatoes, white bread, uh, white, um, anything, pretty much anything when it's a starch and it's straight up white. So that's why and if you'll say, well, then what would be my option if I can't have white or white starches? Then there's brown rice, if you want a little bit more flavor. There's even yellow rice, somewhat of an in-betweener. But brown rice certainly would be the preferred option, and wild rice, all that kind of stuff. But definitely, so he was eating all those types of things, junk food, not eating regularly, skipping meals. And so when you do intermittent fasting, you have to be careful with that, okay? Because some people don't do it the right way. And see, if you're diabetic, and especially if you're on insulin and you're waiting until 4 o'clock in the evening to eat your first meal of the day, but you're taking your insulin in the morning, and depending on the type of insulin it is, that can bottom out your sugar, and then you pass out, you go into a coma, or you start sweating. You know how it goes, get short of breath. Now here you go, and then you either pass out or you feel like you're about to. Somebody calls 911, and now you've just had a bad day. And so we have to be very careful with that. And that's why you need to talk to your healthcare provider. Hopefully you have a primary care doctor. And if you don't, well, you got one now. And this is a great time for a shameless plug. So Good Faith Wellness Center is taking new patients. If you don't have a PCP, like I said, you got one now. If you have one and you just can't get in, you can't get in for an appointment, or you frankly don't like him or her, Good Faith Wellness Center is here. You got one now. And if you feel like you want to keep your existing person and you just want a second opinion, Good Faith Wellness Center is here for you as well. The good thing is that, hey, look, there are a lot of people who don't take certain insurances, Humana, United, Medicaid, all that kind of stuff. Right now, we've been this way for the last 3 years, that we are taking every single insurance payer when you're coming to see Dr. Bookhardt. If you do not have insurance, it's still all good, because we have payment plans that are as cheap as $99 for an individual. So that's unlimited visits to the clinic. That is cheaper than your cell phone bill. So make an investment that counts. Make an investment in you. Let's see. So I know people using GLPs, they continue to eat poorly. That's right, because you really get this false sense of saying, oh, everything it's all good. And, let's see, 1 second. Okay, there we go. So let's see. I think we have a few other comments that have come in. In New York now, let me know when you open a center here. Well, that would take some significant capital. Significant capital. I know people. Yeah. So okay, we said that one. Yeah, using GIP. Yeah. So which is definitely an abuse of the medication of why it's created. I know that people do that a lot, but yeah, the goal is to become healthier so that we can get you off of the GLP. So hopefully you'll be able to get off of blood pressure medicine, um, off of insulin. And so I know a lot of patients will they come in the Good Faith Wellness Center, and they'll say, well, I used to like my doctor, or he or she was great. They cared about me. I didn't have to wait more than a week or two to get in. But the problem is, and this is what certain patients, and even some of our newer patients that we just saw last week, they'll say, my doctor either does not talk about getting off these prescription medications ever. And then there have also been a couple of patients who have said, when I ask my doctor, can I get off this stuff, they say no. And I say, if you ever have a provider who tells you that there's no chance of getting off blood pressure medicine or insulin, or they're not even going to try, you need to exit stage left and give us a call immediately. Or as Bernie Mac said, immediately. I know my mom will get that one. So let's go to another. Rico Daniels, what's going on? New viewer and supporter, thank you for joining us. Another question that's come in. Can medication replace exercise? And the overwhelming majority survey says, heck no. I want to use a more choice word. I guess I can. But no, absolutely not. Medications can, as we say, augment that, right? They can be something to use in addition to that, but never, ever, 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 ever should you think that a medication should replace exercise. On the boards, when you take your board exams as a doctor, one of the things is, which of the following is the initial response to a patient with a new diagnosis of hypertension or diabetes and things like that. And the initial recommendation, it would say something like, lifestyle changes, which is diet modification and exercise. That's all grouped in the lifestyle changes. Then it's like start them on amlodipine, start them on Lantus insulin, start them on. And the answer is a no-brainer. It is always lifestyle modification and changes because that never stops, right? No matter how many medications we have to add to get things under control or take away when you are controlled, at the end of the day, it is always lifestyle modification. That's changing our diet, increasing fiber, increasing our water intake, especially right now while it's hot. We need to put out a new uh, poster or marketing thing for that because right now it is extremely, I mean, especially in the South, greater than 100, 101 degrees Fahrenheit. Thank God the last 2 days have not been so bad. I think they've been in the high 80s. I witnessed people reversing diabetes and exercise is life. Yep, absolutely. And a lot of people respect Dr. Sebi. A lot of people respect him greatly. So, um, but you guys keep them coming. Now, look, we're here for you, even though we have some prepared questions and folks that have sent some things in already previously. We definitely want to hear from you. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Right. Exercise is definitely life. Okay. Would you stay on a weight loss medication forever if it worked? I think you guys probably know the answer for that question from what we just discussed, and the answer is absolutely not. The All medications eventually are going to have some adverse effect on the body, and so these are the things that the pharmaceutical company doesn't want you to know. You know, um, let's see. Okay, there we go. These are some of the things they don't want you to know. 1 second, everyone. Okay, let's see. Yeah, absolutely. We don't want to stay on medication forever. Absolutely not. And these are the types of things that they don't want you to hear. And people say, well, man, Dr. Bookhardt, why is it that either my doctor doesn't talk like that or doesn't say these things, or they kind of hedge around it and everything. And that is because, if you're on a national TV program or a syndicated show, these types of things are not popular. You're not going to hear most people talk about that because they are um, beholden to the pharmaceutical companies themselves. Perhaps they're getting kickbacks, well, which is actually illegal. But I'm sure people still do that, of course. This is a big, huge multi-trillion-dollar industry. And then a lot of providers are afraid of being cancel culture because of that. Because you can't go up against this big giant that is the pharmaceutical industry or say anything harmful about them, especially if you have a large platform, because they will come after you. Um, Another question that's come in: what matters more, the number on the scale or your blood pressure, your cholesterol, and blood sugar? What matters more, the number on the scale or your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar? So, the answer to that is actually they all matter. So, I wouldn't on that question. I think that's an interesting question, but I wouldn't put that. We definitely would not put that in terms of uh, trying to say which one is more or less or more important. That's one of those things where okay, that's one of those things where you know all are needed, all are required. And so your the number on the scale, which is your weight, obviously, is extremely important. That helps us to calculate your body mass index, your BMI. Your blood pressure is extremely important, because if it's too low, you can pass out. If it's too high, you can pass out. Too high, too low, you can have a stroke. Too high, you can have a stroke. Blood glucose or blood sugar is important, because if it's too low, you can pass out and have a stroke. If it's too high, you can pass out and have a stroke. Cholesterol, they're all important. Cholesterol is probably, I'd say, on the lower end of those. That one would be on the lower, but still, especially in the right patient, in the wrong setting. So in other words, somebody with terrible um, diabetes, hypertension, with a cholesterol of 400, that would be harmful to them, because that's going to lead to atherosclerotic heart disease, which would likely lead to heart attack if a person has not already had one. So all those things are important. Cholesterol being just a little bit more on the lower end, in my opinion. So, um, what would you guys say is harder, out of this? Is an audience participation question, and kind of like a final icebreaker, if you will. Is it harder for you guys to eat better or exercise consistently? Which one is harder for you? Um, I feel that is a fantastic question, because uh, we get feedback on both. So I'd love to hear from the audience, if you guys are still there, if you're still awake, um, out there in TV land. Please let us know. What is harder? Um, what's harder for you, eating better or exercising consistently? So our first response is exercising consistently. I want to say personally, they both can be a challenge, and especially like if you're on the road a lot, you're in hotels, and or you're driving trucks, and so you spend the majority of your day, or at least your waking hours, in a truck, or um, away from fresh running water, away from fresh fruits and vegetables and all that, or even just a home cooked meal. So the eating better is a significant challenge for a lot of people, but also um, exercising consistently. That's probably, I'd say, Tamara, I agree with you. That's probably um, you know, one of America's biggest challenges, or the bigger of the two. But certainly, it's a big struggle with changing your diet. And the thing is, you can lose just as much, if not more, weight actually from your dietary changes than going and running on the treadmill 3 4. See, the treadmill is important because it builds up endurance, it gets that heart rate up, cardiac endurance, and overall you feel better and more energized, releasing endorphins, all of that, significant benefits. But from changing your diet, and especially reducing the portion control is so important. Even if you feel hungry afterwards, don't just say, well, let me get something else. Try your best to stay within that outline, that portion. Um, and so, the dieting is so, because all the excess calories, putting in so many different calories and things, so that's why they really honestly go hand in hand. But I know, like you were saying, a lot more people struggle with exercise because they might not have a home gym, might not have the time to join a gym like Planet Fitness, or the club, or wherever, or they might just frankly might not have the money, so a lot of people, and they know that they won't do it on their own if they're just in their house with some dumbbells. And so that is probably the bigger challenge. But I mean, a very close second is the eating. And honestly, for some people who are more foodies or addicted to food and things like that, that's a true priority to them, eating. Then for that person, that's might be more of a stumbling block. So if I only eat what I buy, it makes it easier. Exercising is an energy thing for me. Okay. So if I only eat what I buy, it makes it easier. It's easier for you, you're saying, to change your dietary habit. But exercise, you're saying, that's an energy thing. Okay. That makes sense. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. Whenever I'm ready to lose weight, I start with eating better first. Yeah, there we go. And so for a lot of people, and especially the stress of being in this Western civilization and in this busy hustle and bustle of life, People get stressed out, they get annoyed. Those of us that are healthcare professionals, we love, this is what we love and we feel like we're called to do, but then, it can be stressful. And frankly, some patients can just be downright annoying and they'll drive you up the wall and test your patience. And so a lot of people say, man, the first thing I do when I get off work, I am going to doggone happy hour, or I'm going home to have a glass of wine or whatever it is that you drink. And so that those things all put on excess calories, for us all. And so that's why, um, like you were saying about eating better, that honestly is equally as important, if not more, actually, than joining a gym or the weight loss. But again, not a substitute because we want to focus on both, and therefore you won't have to worry about those expensive GLPs and whether it's illegal, where the website you're ordering from, and all that good stuff. So that's what I'd say to that. We have time for just one more, and the last question of the night is dun dun dun. Dun. Be honest. Are you trying to get healthier or simply just look better? That is a very fair question. Very fair question. I want to say that again for the people in the back. For the people in the back, let's be honest. We've already got a couple of responses on that. Instagram is all the way live tonight, man. Thank y'all for hanging with us. And there's a lot of places you could be on a Tuesday night, but you choose to spend your time with little old me. And for that, I say thank you, because I know you guys could be somewhere else. So we really appreciate all this amazing audience participation. But the question is, be honest. Are you trying to get healthier or just look better? So, all right, we got two compete. All right. Terrell, what's going on, brother? Terrell Moses 10 is in the building. Good to see you, man. We look forward to seeing you maybe possibly Thursday. We're talking about Terrell. We're talking about GLPs and being healthy and losing weight. I say, and the question we did, the last question of the night was, be honest. Are you trying to get healthier or just look better? Tamara says, I'm trying to look better. 42 says, I'm trying to be healthier. And honestly, hey, and we appreciate the honesty. There's no right or wrong answer. There's no bad answer here. Need us to trying to stay healthy. Yeah, and honestly, the healthier that we are, usually they go hand in hand, right? So you look better. The healthier you are, you look better, when it comes to either the adipose tissue with belly fat, midsection fat, which I know, Sonia, you were saying it's been difficult for you in the midsection, and you had said after over 50 and perimenopausal issues and things like that. So that's what a lot of people struggle with, just people in general, but also a lot of women, and especially around that age, around that age range, so being healthy, portion control, all that good stuff is going to lead to you looking better and losing weight if a person is obese per se. So they truly go hand in hand. You'll look better the healthier you're eating, the healthier the diet that you're following, and you'll feel better and all that good stuff. So they really go hand in hand. And I say all that because I'm healthy. I'm healthy as an ox, but I want my dresses black and short. There we go. Boom. I think we'll leave it right there. I think that's the last say. The last say. This ought to be a sound bite. We got to do some editing to do some of those cool clips. It's just, I say that because I'm healthy as an ox, but I want my dresses black and short. Hello. So we appreciate the honesty. So if you want your clothes to fit a certain way, you want the black dresses black and short. You said, is that what you said? Short and fitting good, something like that. Let's get it right. I want my dresses black. Okay, yeah, black and short. Yeah. So if that's what you desire, we need to hit both. We need to hit the exercise side of things, We got to do the lifestyle changes, which is diet changes, diet modification, and getting more rest for the person that talked about sleeping and inconsistencies with that. All of that will go more rest, weight loss, changing in diet. That will all lead to you being healthier, therefore looking better, looking like what you're putting in and getting out what you're putting in, and therefore you get to put on that black dress that's as short as you need it to be. um, so, all right. So listen, thank you guys so much for another episode. This has been episode 107. Give yourself episode 107. 107 episodes. We've been right here, haven't missed a beat, thanks to the good Lord. Every Tuesday, we have been right here at 7 o'clock Central Time for your viewing pleasure and edification. One last comment here to Leah. What's going on? I eat healthy, but I have weight. What can I do with having PCOS, insulin resistance? Seems like if I eat or even look at food, I gain weight. And thank you so much for sharing that to Leah. I don't know if I think you might be one of our newer viewers. So again, this is Telehealth Tuesday, and we're here each and every week. Thank you for coming. One of the things you can do, we talk about these different diets, not just a fad. We can go to the ADA, American Diabetes Association, or the American AHA, American Heart Association. Either one's ADA, AHA. Certainly other associations, American Family Medicine, of which we are a part of. You can get all types of different, even if you just Google healthy recipes for PCOS patients. But I particularly like these websites because they give you actual recommendations and help you with meal planning and meal prep, depending on what you have. So if you need salt restriction for hypertension, carbohydrate restriction for diabetics, low fat recipes for people that are either on dialysis or have issues with that or heart disease. So I would say that's the first thing I would do is check out those sites, those websites. The other thing is losing weight. There's some healthy options over at GNC and other vitamin stores. If you check out Mr. Eric Collins, you're here in Mississippi. He's also in Texas, and I believe he may even ship his products. But this brother is just an amazing guy. He's talented. He's been on the show twice, Mr. Eric Collins at The Herbal Blessing. And so he can help guide you with that question or going on to his website, theherbalblessing.com. He's got like for every single ailment. I don't know if he has one specifically for that, but in terms of being healthier overall, losing weight, suppressing the appetite so that you don't have to illegally obtain the GLPs like a lot of people. I would suggest doing that, so either the American Diabetes Association for your meal preps and planning guideline and recommendations, The Herbal Blessing, which is a natural place. He makes his own medication, his own pills. He actually has a pill machine that makes the capsules right on site. It's absolutely amazing. Products for constipation, heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, weight loss. He has it all. Sea moss, whatever it is that you're into. Medical grade liquid, I guess, cannabis infused lemonades and different things like that. I think he may still even have that. People with chronic pain and other issues in glaucoma. So hopefully that answered your question, Leah. So look, this has been another episode of Telehealth Tuesday. Man, Dr. Jared Davis, what's going on, man? Congratulations to you. They're a good friend of mine, plastic surgeon here in Mississippi in Jackson, going into private practice. So big shout out to Dr. Jared Davis. I see you, man. It's good to see you the other day. So next week, we're going to have an amazing guest on. I know that sometimes we're surprising. You guys end up being the guest, but definitely next week, we'll have an amazing guest on. So stay tuned for that. Please make sure to go to Dr. B TV, DOCTOR, the letter B, as in boy, TV, Dr. B TV on YouTube, and make sure to share, tag, like, follow. But most importantly, you say it with me, subscribe. That's why it's in all caps. Subscribe to help us support this amazing program. With that said, we hope you'll join us next Tuesday. Don't just keep this good word to yourself. Always bring a friend, share the good news. Just like when you go to church, invite a friend, invite a family member, even if you don't like him or her. Hopefully we will, and by the end of the episode, you'll like each other again. So if you have a story, testimony, situation you'd like to discuss, or if you want to just drop us a line and or even let us know about a person that you think would be great, we want to hear from you. Good Faith Wellness Center at gmail.com or Dr. BTV. You can drop us a line. Good Faith Wellness Center on Instagram and also Facebook pages alike. So God willing, we'll see you always on a Tuesday. Let's take a moment to invest in what's truly important, and that's you. So remember our mantra, as always, that true wealth begins with good health. And we will see you on next Tuesday, God willing. Thanks so much. Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Bookhardt. Come join us at our newest clinic location at Good Faith Wellness Center. We provide compassionate health care for your entire family, from virtual visits to office appointments. We're committed to providing the best care. We accept all insurances, and we provide monthly wellness plans. Let's start your family journey to a healthier, happier life. Schedule your appointment today. And remember, true wealth begins with good health.